we know this offense is just full of talent. This is probably going to be the best offense that Kellen Moore is ever going to coach in his NFL career as of right now, according to this 2024 season. I want to go over some of the tape of him game planning and micromanaging and what it kind of looks like behind the scenes, because there was a video that came out early this offseason that I really want to go over, and unfortunately it disappeared and I don't know what happened to it, so I kind of want to show it to you guys and kind of give my input, my take on how much of a micromanager that Kellen Moore really is. And everybody is going to strive for greatness in this offense, and it's going to be really fun to watch hopefully this year, and I'm very excited. So we're going to go over all that, and I want to go over Bryce Huff, the newly acquired defensive end that we got from the New York Jets. And my take on him is he will have an over 10 sack season, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm very excited for him going into the year. So we won't be thinking about HaasonReddick anymore after that once he starts getting to the groove of things. So let's get straight into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So I want to go over some news for the Philadelphia Eagles as usual. I think the one thing, since Kellen Moore has been the offensive coordinator, has been hired as the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, I think the pieces really started going together of, what about the control? How much control does Nick have? Kellen Moore, how much input is he going to have? And it seems like that Nick Sirianni is putting a lot of trust in the Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is going to have a lot of power over this offense, which I'm not shocked over. But not even just that, 95% of this playbook is new, and the only thing we're really taking from last year is really Kellen Moore working with Jalen Hurts and working with what Jalen Hurts did like next year. So that relationship is very close. And I think the one thing that I'm really excited about is just seeing how these meetings are going with the players. Now, there was some examples of a video that came out early this offseason that I couldn't find on YouTube anymore for some odd reason. Kellen Moore kind of going over pre-snap motion when he was with the Cowboys. And, Kellen Moore does not waste any strands of talent on this football team. Any strand of talent he is going to put on the field. Nothing is going to be left off the field, okay? Because this is probably, like I said, one of the best, personnel-wise, one of the best offenses he's going to ever run till this date in his career as an offensive coordinator that potentially could be a head coach later on, okay? The quarterback is going to have a lot more control over the line. What's going to beat this all-out, this cover zero blitz that we were beat on so many times last year? Well, pre-snap motion, keeping defenses on their toes and giving any different combination of routes you can get from all the talent that we have to really, you blitz us, you're going to pay for it type of mentality, and I really do like that. Kellen Moore goes over every possible thing. You're not going to make substitutions predictable where DeAndre Swift has a big run down the field, and then it's second and short, and you throw a 70-yard pass downfield, or you make Jalen Hurts run with the football in his hands. It's not going to happen this year. So many more things are going to happen where it's not going to rely on the brotherly shove so much, because you have an offensive coordinator here that knows how to use every single weapon. I feel bad for the guys we've had, especially running backs like DeAndre Swift, like I've said before, where you don't even do – how many times did we check down to the running back last year? It was that embarrassing. You know what I mean? Throwing deep balls downfield just to get flags, just not even scheming at this point, where Nick Sirianni came up with the game plan, and you have this 10 playbook that we've been using last year and really created our downfall offensively, because the Eagles never adjusted to defenses adjusting to our offense. We never adjusted back, and that was one of the biggest issues we had. Never using middle of the field. The top receiver for the Chargers last year when Kellen Moore was the OC had the best year of his whole entire career, over 30 years old. So I just had a brain fart on the name, but you're going to make everyone highly successful. Dallas Goedert, hopefully staying healthy, will have a big year. The running backs this is the best running back he's going to use in a long time with Saquon Barkley. Okay, Austin Eckler does sniff nothing on Saquon Barkley, let me tell you. And I'm going to say this, I think Saquon Barkley's going to have probably 400 plus receiving yards, and I think he will have over 1,000 yards next year. But they're not just going to rush. They're going to receive the ball. They're going to put these guys in routes. They might put running backs as receivers. They might line them out. But putting Saquon Barkley as an actual check down option, where we didn't normally do check down options last year too much. Like, you have those easy one-on-ones, especially with a good back now with a nice 3-down back, capable back, what you're going to do, what Saquon Barkley's going to do in the open field, because there's so many weapons like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and the rest of these guys, that if Saquon Barkley has that one-on-one in open field, he is going to just, it's a 9 out of 10 times it's going to make the guy miss, get big chunk yards, get 35 for a 40-yard run easy to the other side of the field. And it's going to be awesome to see. And Kellen Moore is not the rah-rah type coach, but let me tell you something. What makes him a rah-rah coach passively is going to be making these players successful and giving them more opportunity. And, where was their missed opportunity with this roster last year? Yeah, wide receiver 3, one of our weakest positions. Quez Watkins putting too much on his shoulders the past few years, didn't pan out. Olamide Zaccheaus, another receiver I really did like on this team, but unfortunately they just never gave him any opportunity. He's had a couple touchdowns, but other than that, didn't do much of anything. Great blocker downfield, but they just never gave other guys opportunities to let's see if you can make a play here. And I hate when they ignore positions like that. Just like when Dallas Goedert got hurt, in that Cowboys game when he broke his forearm. I mean, they completely ignored the position totally. But what's going to beat the cover zero blitz? It's going to be pre-snap motion, different combinations. Like I said, keeping the defense on their heels. It's going to be something that it's going to be so different, and the diversity of these plays. It's going to be like 2017 all over again, where we saw different plays out of the back pocket, and we're like, damn. Because every week is going to vary from team to team, because if you show the same stuff every week and just rely on your same 10 plays that you did last year, you're not going to get far. So to see pre-snap motion in general almost used, I don't know how much percentage, but I know Kellen Moore is like top 5 in pre-snap motion, maybe even top 10 at this point, because he uses a lot of it. And obviously Doug, the quarterback coach, is here to really, help the quarterback and receiver go hand in hand with the passing game. So he helps with that passing game between, the connection between quarterback to receiver. So this could be another year where Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown have 1,000 yards. We're not going to rely on one receiver the whole entire game. Like first half of the season, A.J. Brown, second half of the season, Devontae Smith, stuff like that. And I think things are going to change. And these meetings are just, man, they're so detailed. I want to know what kind of meetings they had last year with the Eagles with Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson, and just what it looked like if you're doing the same 10 plays all the damn time, and the bubble screens and the quarterback draws and the 70-yard passes. And obviously the one thing they need to fix, and if there's one thing with Jalen Hurts I would like to fix in this offense, it's obviously the turnover game, because he threw some turnovers last year that didn't necessarily need to happen. But I understand the coaching aspect was failing behind him to put him in that direction. So you have a couple coaches, and Doug, the quarterback coach, Doug Newsom, I forgot his name. And then obviously Kellen Moore to really push him, and obviously Nick Sirianni to push him as well. So I think the Kellen Moore situation is working as great as possible, and I think it's going to turn to something really good going forward. And I can't wait for it. So if you're going to get you're getting an offensive core that's not leaving anything out. He is on top of everybody's shit and will not accept anything but greatness from this offense. And that's what the type of coaching you're getting with Kellen Moore. Think of Kellen Moore as a mini head coach of this offense under Nick Sirianni, but really is in charge 100% fully, which is great relationship with Jalen Hurts, and kind of get this thing in motion, get this thing going. So really excited about that, and can't wait for that. Now, interesting enough, we saw some video the other day on Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff doing his thing. Really excited on Bryce Huff this season. I think he's going to have over a 10-sack season this year. I think all of us are going to forget about HaasonReddick. You're paying Bryce Huff $17 million a year, and yes, he played on a heavy rotation. So what worries everybody is a couple things. He only had one 10-sack season, and he was on a heavy rotation 43% of the snaps. So you want to make sure he has a good motor, that he's not going to run out of gas as soon as he starts rushing a few plays in a row, and he's going to get winded. And that's the one thing you don't want to happen, because edge rusher is in full need right now, because if Bryce Huff doesn't work out, then my God, we are in trouble, because Nolan Smith has it. Nolan Smith is hopefully going to make some noise this year. Here's Jalix Hunt. You drafted him in the 3rd round. There's way too much uncertainty right now on that edge rusher. And yes, these guys are dropping into coverage, and I think Bryce Huff has got a fantastic athletic ability to drop in coverage and cover and do all that great stuff, because it is Fangio's scheme. But as an edge rusher, I mean, look at the tape from last year and the rotation that he was in. My God, I mean, his first step, the explosiveness off the line, has been working a lot on his bull rush ability, this offseason. And I think he's going to have a fantastic year. I think he's going to have a better year after this year, regardless. But I think this year he'll have a 10-sack season, maybe a little bit more than that. I think he's really going to surprise a lot of people, because I don't know how many people actually feel good about Bryce Huff because of obviously that heavy rotation with the Jets last year. And we are in high need of an explosive guy on the edge. I mean, this was an option I didn't think they were going to go in free agency, or at least they were going to pay a defensive end a lot of money. They figured, you know what, if we're not going to pay HaasonReddick and he wants $25 million plus, we're going to pay a guy that has less statistics, coming off a really good year, but paying him a lot less. And that $17 million a year is going to look really good in about, in 2 years. It's going to look really good. We're going to say, man, what a steal at a price that he's at right now. And, we're hoping he's going to be a beast on that edge. And, can't wait to see more from Bryce Huff in the future of this team and where it really goes. Because I think he's a really good talent. And even when we played the New York Jets, he creamed us. I mean, he destroyed Jalen Hurts. Now, I know I think Lane Johnson was actually – I think it was Lane Johnson out for that game. I think Jack Driscoll was playing on that side, so he got beat a lot by Huff. But he gave a little, he gave a little bit of work. Jordan Mailata had he was switching sides a little bit. Jordan Mailata had some issues as well. So we'll see what happens. But I feel like good things are going to come out of this, and I think everybody's worried a little too much. I still think they need to add another body to the position, regardless, like Yannick Ngakoue or somebody that's out there. But I think they still need to add somebody, because you can always have enough bodies out there, regardless of what's going on. So. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about Bryce Huff as a player, and do you think, what do you think his season is going to look like now with more snaps? You have to get used to more snaps in the NFL. If you're in a heavy rotation, now you're getting paid starter money, and now you have to have more snaps. So hopefully he can handle it, and that's what we're really, praying for as of right now. So we'll see. And what do you guys think about Kellen Moore, and obviously just the way he game plans his meetings, and how do you feel about him going into the season? I think every player is liking this offense. I think everybody is excited, fresh start, ready to go and doing our thing. So it's fantastic. If you guys haven't checked out the Philly Shakedown podcast merch, definitely check it out. We got some brand new merch coming. A release date is coming soon. I say it every single video. It is coming really soon. By the end of July to early August, we're gonna have some crazy stuff going on. But definitely check out the store if you guys haven't. There is sizes up to 6XL. We have men for the summertime. Men's and women's sleeveless t-shirts are here. So definitely check it out. Everything else is in the link, the description below. It's all there. And let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow. So peace out, guys. Peace.